Now, a lot of books start out that talk about missions and talk about missionaries. They will start out with, so you're called to missions, and then they start talking about ways to fulfill that call. One of the frustrations for a lot of people, young people as well as empty nesters and people who are considering second careers, is I'm not sure that I am called. What exactly does a call look like? I heard a call in a testimony at our church, and in that call testimony, somebody said they really felt called to translate the Bible among the Taramanani people in the jungles of South America. And I don't have a call like that. There are many different ways to express a missionary calling. God's guidance comes to us and takes us in many different paths. So this raises the question, how specific does your missionary call have to be? Should you be able to say that I know God has called me to this country? And if so, do you have to say which state or province of that country? And if so, should you say which city in that country God has called you to serve? And if so, what neighborhood? And in that neighborhood, where you should live and which part of the neighborhood should be your area of emphasis? In other words, how specific does it have to be? Does your missionary call have to have a zip code? Sometimes I have heard missionary callings expressed by career missionaries who have served well, faithfully for decades on the field, say things like, when God called me, all I knew is that He had called me to work in this country. This country was ever in my mind, and however they articulate their call, they talk about a country. Others talk about a language group. I knew God had called me to work with this language group. Sometimes they've talked about an agency. I knew that I was to work with this agency, or a particular work. I knew God had called me to serve in the area of missionary aviation, or He had called me to serve in the area of support ministries, missionary kid education, things of this nature. Perhaps He's called you to do translation work. These kinds of ministries would suggest certain agencies. How specific does the call have to be? Does the Bible say? Does the church require it? Do agencies require it? The missionary call helps us to understand what the missionary call is and what is within the limits of that which is acceptable when we talk about our missionary call. What's yours? Where has God called you to go? With whom has He called you to do it? And how is your family going to express the missionary call in your life?